We're here at the inaugural Retail Show Australia 2025 in Melbourne, and I'm joined now by one of our fantastic speakers, Nicole. Nicole, great to hear you before on the stage, and I know you're part of the opening session as well. Let's talk about your organisation. Tell us what you're all about.
So SACSA is the Jobs and Skills Council that represents the retail workforce nationally. So we actually look after the arts, personal services, retail, hospitality and tourism. So we've got a big set of workforce. But what we're really trying to do is support retailers with better attraction and retention strategies, and how can we improve the training so that we can really promote career pathways in the industry we love.
Yeah. I love what you said earlier about there's so much digital communication these days, and some of the younger demographic who are in retail, that sort of skill to actually have that personal one-on-one interaction is something that has to be really developed these days.
Yes, it's something we took for granted. So we're hearing from all retailers, big and small, that the personal, just basic communication skills, feeling confident talking to strangers is just not there.
Yeah.
But with the retail training packages, it's a great space to start. And then whether that builds into a retail career or other, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to that ability to communicate. And I think that's one of the most powerful learning lessons that you can have in any career path.
Absolutely. Yeah. It gives you confidence to be able to do anything.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the event itself. I think bringing together such a diverse mix of people, experts such as yourself, the lineup of speakers has been phenomenal. What's been your opinion so far?
I'm loving, and there's definitely a space. We need a show like this in Australia. And I'm loving seeing some of the more physical retail things come around. Like you say, we have shows around leadership and digital, but we really bring that all together. These kinds of partners, some of the speakers, such as sustainability and thinking about Gary Mortimer and Peter Wilson and all the different perspectives of retail has been really valuable.
Yeah, and as retail, I think people take it for granted. It's such a challenging industry sector, and you need almost all your ducks to line up. You need supply chain to work. You need consumers to be able to come in there. You've got to navigate things like traffic jams and protests. There's a whole challenge that's always thrown at retailers. So they often cop the raw end of the stick.
We do. And we work with a lot of regional partners as well. And they just say, just simply getting groceries into a regional store, and all the science behind that is quite amazing. So I think retailers, we're always problem solvers, and it's great to see data and technology and how that forms an amazing career for people.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the career paths and some of the courses that you run.
Yes. So SACSA is a custodian of all the training packages across the bed sector. So we're looking at those very entry-level courses that is actually supporting a lot of people living with disabilities, through to early employability, right up through to your diploma in retail leadership courses and in community pharmacy. So it's the whole scope of how do you build a retail career. And we've got a large project on at the moment around, we're relooking at them and saying, how do we make them future-proof for 2026?
Great. Well, I think it's fascinating, and I'm really, I see a whole range of different demographics through retail. So you look at the aging community who really need that personal guidance and attention, because they rely so heavily on personal support to go through retail experience. Then you've got the younger generation who are so used to the digital phone purchasing, but there's so much that they can gain from having retail knowledge and skill set right across personal and professional life.
Absolutely. And I was talking to some members of different associations about ageism as well. And it's not just the workers, but thinking about how do you interact with a customer when, they do have different ability needs, or even if we start thinking about women moving a pram around a store. There's so much thinking around diversity in retail that doesn't necessarily get appreciated just as your initial consumer walking in.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely to see you and to hear about all that type of experiences that you can offer the whole industry through those courses. I think, you're really one of those foundation pillars of making sure that the sector not only grows, but continues into the future, because you need to attract and retain more and more talent.
It's been my absolute pleasure, and thank you to everyone for having SACSA involved.
Great. Thanks, Nicole. Okay.